Hey there, Lady Shooter here. Welcome back. I was thinking after doing the Darwin the other day that I might try and do it again with the 4 and 10 also and see how that goes. I think for the 4 and 10, I'll just take them from $10 to $25 and then 25 to 50 and then leave them there and see what happens. Although, honestly, I'm kind of debating because the 4 and 10 hit so rarely that if you just did $10 on them to start and then took them to 25, then you could just leave it at 25 and it would pay 50, which is fine. So I might do that. We'll just kind of see how it goes. It's only, one hit and then hold versus the other numbers where you're having to get 2 hits then hold. But because they hit less often, maybe that's the way to do it. We'll think on that. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll never hit one, so it won't be a problem. All right, so I'm gonna do $500 again, and I'm not gonna roll at the end of the table. I'm just gonna, drop the dice in the middle just for simplicity and to make it go faster. And here we go. Okay, so if you missed the first video, I'll put it in the description, but the premise behind the Darwin is you do table minimum to start. First hit, you take it to 25 or 30, and then second hit, you double that, and then after that you hold and you just collect after that. And so this was inspired by a craps dealer named Darwin, who I met on Mariner of the Seas, the Royal Caribbean cruise ship. And he was a great guy and a great dealer. And so let's try it out now. We're gonna do not just 44 inside like we did in the first video, but we'll do 64 across. And here we go. All right, I'm gonna try and track 10 shooters over here and hope we have enough bankroll to do 10. $500 is not quite, enough to get there if everything goes terrible, but hopefully we'll have some wins along the way. This is my my dealer's bankroll, or dealer's money, and here's mine. All right, here we go, coming out. Hard 4. Well, I guess that's a good start if we're on the 4 and the 10. All right, we're doing 64 across. Can you see the 10? Almost here. I'll drag the 10 over here because my angle's not quite right, but you'll get the idea. All right, 64 across, and pretend like I'm not shooting. If I were my roll on a real table, I would just do the minimum on the pass line and not add odds or anything, and just play this and just use the pass line as my placeholder so I could shoot. And it's an 8. Okay, so have $12 in the 8. That pays 14. So I'm gonna add $4 more to that to turn it into 30. So 14 plus 12 is 26, plus 4 makes it 30. So when the 8 rolls and the dealer gets around to me, I'm gonna drop him $4 and say, make it 30. All right, we need repeaters with this strategy. And a 9, all right, so same thing, we'll drop $1 this time. So there's $10, it wins 14, there's one more dollar to make it green, make it 25. And a 12, no help, and an 8. Okay, so we have $30 on our 8. That pays 35. So we're gonna make it 60 and rack the 10. And now everything on the 8 after this we'll just collect. So let's hope for lots of 8s. All right, there's a 5. So we'll drop $1 and that will make that into 25. So $10 plus my dollar plus the 14 at 1 adds up to 25. And a 4, that's our point. For simplicity in my home casino, I just double the payout on the 4 and 10. Now on an actual table, there's a VIG, $10 would pay 18 usually. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to say whatever's on the 4 and 10 pays double. So $10 on it would pay 30. All right, putt goes off. So I'm going to take that to 25, which the dealer would actually change it out for a green. And I'll rack the 5. All right, come out. So that was a 3 and a 10. Now the putt goes on the 10 and a 6. All right, so drop $4 and I say make it 30. Again, my $12 plus the 14 at 1 plus the $4 I gave them adds up to 30. And another 6, looky there. So we have 30 on it, that pays 35. I'm gonna say make it 60. Take that up to $60, rack the 5. And now the 6 and the 8 are both at $60, which means when they hit, they're gonna pay me 70. And after that, I'm just gonna collect on them. And a 7 out, of course. That's the way it goes. All right, so I'm gonna use these $500 chips to mark my rolls. So there was one. Okay. And it all comes down. All right, here we go. Next shooter. Come out's an 8. Now we're gonna do 64 across. $64 and a 7. Oh, that hurt your heart a little bit. Okay, that one's no good. I'm gonna tell my dealer, hey, you know what? Leave my 64 up. I'll just pay for it. Sometimes they'll let you do that if you can catch them before they start taking it down real quick. If you know you're gonna do 64 immediately again, I'll drop them $75. They'll give me $11 change. All right, and now here we go again. Puck's off. 7 on the come out. 7 on the come out. 5. Whew. All right. Here we go. $64 across and a hard 8. Okay. I'm running low on 1s, so I'm gonna throw them a 5 and say make it 30. They'll give me $1 change. So it cost me another $4, and now it's at 30. And a 9. So we'll drop $1 and I'll say make it 30, or make it 25, make it green. And an 8, wonderful. 8 is great. So 30 pays 35. So we'll say make it 60 and we'll rack the 5. From this point on, we'll collect the 8s. So let's go 8. There's a 9. 25 pays 35. So we'll say make it 50 and rack the 10. And same thing, from this point on, we'll just collect. It'll pay 70. And 7 out. Whew. Whew, whew, whew. No good, no good. So again, with this strategy, you're not trying to get your money back out of each shooter. You're trying to get in a good position so when there's a nice long roll, you're there to make money on it. So you're hoping for the long roll. In theory, you should have enough money for 8 to 10 shooters with $500 doing this. Hopefully you'll pick up a little along the way. I guess I picked up 15 so far, so that's not much. But and then you're trying to get yourself in a good position so when you have a nice long roll, you're ready to make money on it. All right, coming out. Yo. And a 7. And another yo. And a 6. All right, points of 6. Here we go. 64 across. little change. Dealer, running out of ones. Okay. And it's another PSO. Wow. Wow. Nothing good about that. All right, I'll do the same thing. Just leave me up, dealer. I'll pay for it. Get my pay $75. Get my $11 change. That stings. That stings. No hope. All right, 12 coming out. A 7. A 12. Hope somebody's betting in the field. Snake eyes. Whew. And an 8. All right. All those horn players are going to be happy. Okay, so for the 8, we have $12 on it. We want to make it 30. I'm going to give them $4 and say make it 30. And a 4. All right. So that pays 20 at our casino. It'll pay 20. We'll say make it 25. I'll change that out for green. And I'll rack the $5 difference. And an 8. 8's great. All right. Pays 35. I'll say make it 60. I'll rack the 5. And now we're on for 60. Now we need a lot of 8s. There's a 5. Okay, so we'll drop $1, make it green. Hard 4, fabulous. Hard 4, we'll say 25 if we're doubling it, pays 50. What the heck, we've had a lot of 4s, so I'll throw that on there and rack the 25. And from this point on, I'll pick up 100 each time a 4 or 8 hits, which is, you know, the beauty in the 4 and 8. Yo. What is going on with my puck? I think the 0.6, I just didn't flip it. All right, we'll say it was. Oh, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And 7 out. Okay. Okay. This is the problem with rolling by yourself. You don't have somebody to say, hey, dummy, flip the puck. All right, that's 5 shooters, and our bankroll is taking a beating. All right, here we go. Points of 6. Puck is on. Gotta put my money up before I roll. All right, I'm running low on money, so I'm gonna drop 75 and say 64 cross. Dealer will give me $11 change and set me up. Of course, the nice thing is with good dealers, if you play the same way consistently, they'll know exactly what you're doing each time, and you won't have to really say anything to them. You'll just throw money at them and they'll give you money back. All right. I don't know if you can see those dice, but that's a 7. Just like that. Okay, that's 6. I'll say, leave me up. I'll pay for it. There's my 75 for 11 change. And we are running out of money fast over here. This is when you start questioning all of your life's decisions. All right, new shooter. Maybe it's come around to somebody who's got better luck now. 5. Points 5. Snake eyes. 5. Hey, we made a point at least. All right, we'll drop $1, make it green. Puck goes off. All right, coming out. 6. 4. All right. Pays 20 plus our 10. That means we make it green and we'll rack 5. Hard 8. We'll drop 4, which I don't have 4, so I'll drop 5. They'll give me $1 change and make it 30. $3. $10. 10. All right. We'll say take it to 25. They'll give me the $5 change. And 7. Well, we picked up 10 of our 64, but that's not going to get us very far, is it? That one's rough. Not working out for me today. The problem with the 64 is you get in the 4 and 10, but it costs you that extra $20 each shooter to try and stay afloat. All right, if we don't do some good, we're not going to have enough money to make it to 10. All right, here we go. Heart 8. Maybe that's an indicator of good things to come. 64 cross. Need some ones. All right, there's my 64. Here we go. It's an 8, made the point. All right, so I'm gonna drop 5, say make it 30. They'll give me $1 change, and they'll turn that into 30. All right, coming up. 7. 9. All right, on the 9. 3, 3, 5. Drop $1, say make it green. $5 again. All right. Pays 35, so we'll make it 50. Rack the 10. Our rack is pretty sad over here. How about some 5s? A yo. A 4. All right. 10 pays 20. We'll make it green. Pick up 5. That's it, approximately. It wouldn't be exactly that easy in a real casino, but for my purposes, for simplicity, we're just doubling the 4 and 10. Snake eyes and a 5. How about that? That is what we needed. All right, that pays 70, 60, or 50 on the 5 pays 70, and we are going to rack that. And an 8. 30 pays 35. We'll say make it 60, and we'll rack the 5. Hard 4. All right. So that'll pay 50. We'll say make it 50, and I'll rack the green. How about some more 4s? There's a 6. We haven't done that yet. All right. So we want to make it 30. I'll drop them 5. They'll give me $1 change. And make it 30. And a 9. That's our point. Drop $1. Make it green. Puck goes off. Okay. Well, this shooter's at least decent. Let's make some money now. 9 again. So the appeal in the Darwin is getting yourself into a good position, then you can just pick up. Right now, 4, 5, and 8, we just collect. 9 again. All right, that'll pay 35. We'll make it 50, rack the 10. Puck goes off. Hard 12. Hard 12. I always say that. I know it's a 12. There's no easy 12. 8. On the 8. And 7. Oh boy. We just needed about, 10 more hits to get right. We're in a pretty deep hole here. Whew. Okay. Let's see. Well, at least we got a little bit to work with. We can probably live to fight another day, make it to our 10 shooters. Okay. We've got about $150 left. We can at least do our last 2 shooters that way. All right, here we go, coming out. 8. All right, Let's do 64 across. And I don't have enough reds. That's all right. My dealer will hook me up. All right, 64. Here we go. 12, 7. Oh, I'll pay for it, dealer. Here's my 75. $11 change. That's 9 shooters, and we are almost out of money. All right. This is it. This is number 10. This one's going to be the lucky one, right? 8. 9. Drop $1. Make it green. 7 out. Okay. That's 10. What do we end up with? What do we have left? $24. That's it. All right, the end. That's brutal. It's like that some days, though. Well, that was rough. That wasn't much fun at all. All right, well, 10 shooters, 64 across. Never could get anything going. Not enough to make back what we lost. Unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. But there were several times we were in a good position, ready to make money, if only it had, 5 or 10 more rolls at any of those points, then we would have been just picking up left and right. And we would have been in good shape. It's like that sometimes, isn't it? That's the danger with this kind of strategy, though, where you're just trying to, you're trying for the big win. You're not trying to pick up enough to cover your initial output for each roll. So, I don't know. What do you think? Is this something you would try? It's, like I said, it's pretty ballsy strategy. You got to be willing to lose it all. And maybe you are. It could definitely be good. I could see if you were up, if you were on a trip and you were up overall for the trip and you were willing to risk more. But if you were down, I think I'd be real cautious to try this. I'd stick with something a little more safe, something where I could get out of the roll faster. So, all right, well, let me know what you think. Leave a comment, and thanks for showing up. Subscribe, please. Trying to get this channel going. Hope you like it. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye-bye.